Gonna head out to Neptunes Net today. Pay homage to Neptunes Net, Paul Walker's other shooting location. One of my favorites because it's by the beach and the ocean. It's very fitting because in Hinduism, spirituality, the ocean is its own, personification. Like in Greek mythology, he's called Neptune. In Hinduism, he's called Samundardev, or the angel of the ocean. So it's nice. I'm just gonna go check it out today. LA skyline. Porsche Carrera 911S, red. On the way. This is where the race for the race for the Supra and the Ferrari. This is where it started at. It's at this Chevron gas station. So Paul's Supra was right here. The Ferrari was right there, and that's the houses that they were next to. That's the gas station. And they raced down this road here. Yeah. So I'll just record that. I'm pretty slow for the guy behind me. He's probably pissed off, but it is what it is, man. We're just gonna record this approach to Neptunes Net, just as Paul would have seen it. So the first time I was here, I visited Neptunes Net. I missed that gas station. I missed that starting point. I didn't even recognize it. But yeah, so I mean, that's the approach. It's actually 6 miles out. Neptunes Net is actually 6 miles out from here, so I'm gonna stop recording. I'll see you there. All right, okay, so I'm recording the approach to Neptunes Net. It's about in 0.3 miles. So ocean, everybody say hello. And getting we're about 400 feet away. Oh, there it is, Neptunes Net. Oh shit.
Your destination is on the right.
Alright, so here's Neptunes Net, guys. And that's where Paul Walker parked his car. But I'm not sure how I'm supposed to park my car, so give me a sec. What up, guys? I'm right here, right next to Neptunes Net. It's pretty cool being here. It's awesome. I think I got a pretty good parking spot. I'm pretty sure I can park here, so bam. Neptunes Net, Paul Walker, and that's where he pulled in with the Supra after the race at that Chevron gas station starting point. It's about 6 miles out, actually. They're both 6 miles out from each other. There it is, Neptunes Net. Looks beautiful. So this is where he would come down from in the Supra, and then coming down here, pulling up here. Like, just pretend with this car. And then pulling up here. So the restaurant is closed today, but that's about where Paul Walker and Vin Diesel would have been sitting for the shot at Neptunes Net, and then that's about the background scene that you would have seen. So they'd be sitting about right there. Of course, the restaurant today is closed because of some hazardous water. They found E. coli in the water supply here, so they kind of had to shut down for that, which is a huge bummer. So I sat over there. The first time I came to this restaurant, I sat around on the far table there, I think, or the near table, I can't remember. It's probably that far table. I was here with my missus, and we had a nice lunch here, and we had some fish tacos. I forgot what she had. She's a vegetarian, so I think she had some vegan option. But it was nice, and so we were just chilling there. And so I was order number 48 that day, and It was also my first time visiting Neptunes Net. Of course, I would not have gone out here unless if it weren't for Paul Walker shooting out here in Fast and Furious 1. So I didn't realize it then, but so I was order 48, and the order before us was order number 47. And they like to announce the orders here at this restaurant where they'll say, you know, order number this, order number that. And so the announcer was like, you know, order 47, and then right after they were like order 48, and then they repeated it like twice or three times. They were like 47, 48, 47, 48. And then when I saw my receipt, I was like, hey, I'm 48. And then I checked, and then I went to go get my order, the fish tacos. And that was pretty cool. I just felt like, you know, since 47 is Paul's number, I just felt like his presence and his spirit was with me on the trip. And I felt that even more because when we were approaching Neptunes Net, there was the actual car that he passed away in actually crossed my path. It was coming in from the opposite direction. Like if I was coming down from there, like probably like 10 miles out, like right when you hit Malibu or right when you hit the beach when you're coming on the 10. And like I heard this really high-pitched engine revving, and it was like, and I was like, whoa, what car is that? And it was a exact, like the same model red Carrera GT that Paul Walker crashed in. And I was like telling my wife, I was like that's the car he passed away in. I was like, what are the chances we would see it on the way to Neptunes Net? And then also there was like a dark blue Ferrari riding along us around the same time as we saw the Carrera GT right beside us. So I just felt his presence, and I thought it was a nice blessing from the man himself, you know. And then we went down here, we went down to the beach, and then this kid approached us and we talked to him. Nice Porsche right there. A lot of Porsches here. I think that's an old school, can't see it now, but I think that was an old school Corvette. Or probably an old school Camaro. I don't know American Muscle too much, although I did start out as an American Muscle car guy because of Gran Turismo 1. The Viper just had so much raw power. I always kept choosing that car. But then my friend beat me in a tuned Skyline, and then that's when I started to like Skylines more than like the Viper, because I like the tuning potential of things. I like small displacement being tuned up instead of just like having raw, raw numbers and naturally aspirated raw number displacement. I like small displacement with turbos, and that's when I fell in love with the Skyline's design, and then I was a Skyline fan since. Yeah, I think I still have the receipt for order number 48. I think I put it in my my own personal Skyline, which is I have the G35, which is the V35 Skyline out in Japan. It's my favorite generation of Skyline, so I think I saved my receipt in that car. There was a hummingbird here. It's flying around here somewhere. Yeah, so that's that. The kid we met down at the beach was super nice too. He said he was 11, and then blonde, blue-eyed again, just like Paul, and Paul's number's 47, 11 again. His presence known again when we went down to the beach. I'll go down there quick. Yeah, so that kid was from one of those houses. I don't know if this house was burned down in the fire or if it's a new construction. I saw a lot of like vacant lots like that once had homes in them on the way here. I don't know if they were the result of the fire. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty sad, that whole fire happening and everything. Came down from there. There's a lot more rocks here. There was a lot more sand last time. A lot more sand. Like there was sand up to there, and now it's like just rocks and rocks and rocks. Dang, this place changes so fast. Yeah, this kid was from those houses. He said he was swimming since the age of 3, and I was like, well, I can't swim, so since I'm the only adult, I can't let you near the water. The eternal dragon that lives by the sea. So that's about where he probably stepped out. Right here. There it is, the chevron. That's where the race began, right there. That's the Supra Ferrari race starting line by this chevron here, and they zipped down that way. And they had some greenery and some bushes off to the left side of Paul Walker when he was sitting in the Supra. Yeah, should be off to his left side. Yeah, so those green bushes and stuff. By the Trenca's Country Market. That's the starting point of the Supra Ferrari race. Alright, dude's like, Paul Walker's like, hey, what's the retail on one of those? He's like, you know, I think that's what he says. And then he's like, more than you can afford, pal. And then Vin Diesel was like, smoke him. And then probably had like 900 under the hood of that Supra. And then they smoked him all the way to Malibu, or Neptunes Net. So I checked the receipt. It's actually order number 22. But overhead in the announcement, when they were announcing the orders, they kept saying 47, 48, 47, 48.